All right, this is Wild of Wild Bill and JoJo. This again is not really a Wild Bill and JoJo show. It's going to be more a Wild Bill without JoJo, unfortunately again, and it's going to deal with some younger days of Wild Bill before it's really Wild Bill. I'm going to see if we can get to where we're trying to get to. Because of the pandemic, I'm not sure I can get to the places I'm trying to get to, but we'll see. We have our mask. Okay, and we'll not put our hand in the way of the video again, so I have to do something all over. But needless to say, we are at a place called Nathan Hale Park, which is in East Haven, Connecticut. Okay. Well, it's actually Fort Hale Park, okay? And he said it's in East Haven, Connecticut. But I don't know if we can get to actual Black Rock Park, which is the site of the Revolutionary War. But first I want to show you something else. A place that I almost had an unfortunate accident once. Okay, once again having a little trouble, technical difficulties operating the camera. High tide. I don't know if that's going to allow me access to where I'm trying to go. It probably won't give me full access to where I want to go, sorry. It was at low tide that this actually occurred. Once again, in the blogging world, it's pretty hard. Sometimes you can't get what you want to get. What I want to get is the other side of those cliffs right over there. And I may just have to go to the top and try it from there. Because I can't get you with low tide. And the back side of those cliffs, it's actually not totally low tide, it's tide's coming in, I think, or going out, but maybe we get to it. Maybe we can get to it. Those cliffs right there, right up there. One time when I was like a teenager, I climbed those without any equipment, I and a friend. And I got almost to the top and had a rock come loose in my hand. And I thought for sure I was going to fall to my death, because what I had to do was I had to lean back and let the rock fall by me and then hope I could catch something on the way back. So for those who don't think Wild is wild, believe me, he has been wild in the past. And somehow he will get to do wild again. Alright, now I'm going to try walking along the beach. Be the easiest way to get to my next place I was trying to take you. Before I give you the history lesson there. As you can see, we're coming up. Like I said, this is my problem. The problem with getting there is I don't know if the fort is actually open right now, and it is technically a military installation. So I don't really want to get trespassing. And it looks like the way that we normally get in here, used to get in here as kids, and up to a long while back was it wasn't blocked. So what I was doing wasn't illegal at the time, but I guess now it might be illegal. And I might be fighting with the U.S. Army. I don't want to do that. So we'll see if they're going to let me. If they're not going to let me, I'll get as close as I can. I really would like to show you the stuff within it, because when I was a kid, I found this stuff all buried in the ground. But we'll see if they're going to give me a hard time. But you can see there's U.S. Army vehicles right there. As I said, this is a U.S. Army base right here, and the other part of this is a Coast Guard base that we're actually trying to get onto, is the Coast Guard base that I once wanted to be stationed at. I'm going to test the limits a little bit. I'm going to actually walk out past this barrier here and see if they give me a hard time about it. If they give me a hard time about it, then I can't go. Because there's no sign saying posted, but like I said, this barrier right here wasn't here when I used to come here all the time. So that's why I definitely noticed the fort is right there. The outward appendage of the fort. What I want to show you is where the soldiers used to hide in their bunkers. The bunkers is what I'm going to show you. It's what me and Gilbert found. This was all weeded and covered over, and then it got recovered. But that's what I want to show you. some of my youth there. Nice sandy walk now. Let me see if I can get to the rock. It'll be a little quicker to walk there, because this is quite a walk. And the gravel's not helping much. Alright, hopefully I don't get yelled at. We'll be alright. Alright, here we are. We are at the fort. Black Rock Fort. Here on July 5th, 1779, 18 men under Lieutenant Daniel Bishop stood in defense of New Haven against the British fleet Commodore, commanded by Commodore Sir George Collier, and land forces commanded by Major General William Tyrone. When ammunition ran out, the Patriots spiked their guns and withdrew. And this all occurred from this singular site right here, where I guess they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cannons. We only have one today, okay? But this here would be the site of that infamous battle. And if you go back this way, you find their lodgings, which they had dug out. Hopefully I can find them again. Last I was here, they're dug out thoroughly, so you can really see them. Okay? All right, let's go check. Okay, through the woods we go. And we're not here for the seashore and shells and birds and fish stuff information here this trip. We're here for the fort. All this, as you can see, was buried underground. There's one of them. This, is one of them. One of the bunkers I mentioned. This was totally buried in the ground. They dug this all out, put all this other stuff around it. Because that was totally buried in the ground. Okay? Totally. So over here. And these things are loaded with bats. Totally unearthed it right here. You can see where all the digging occurred. This thing was totally buried up to there. We saw it from the other side there. We climbed in from the other side of these things. Okay? Let's see if there's any more. But my guess would be there'd be another one inside here. That would be my guess. They just haven't unearthed this one. Okay? But I'm sure there's another one buried inside there. This was their shelter from the enemy. Okay? This would be the path they took back to those cannons I mentioned they were fighting from, as they would take turns, going out and firing the guns. Come in and get their meals and stuff. And I'm not the only person in here. Some sort of drawbridge to get in here, because there is a waterway here, so you would have needed that to get in here at the time. This is all swampland. And I don't recall seeing a chimney like that showing where these things were, but you actually would have one. See, on this site, 1657, unnamed fort. 1775, Black Rock Fort. 1807, Fort Nathan Hale. 1863, Fort Nathan Hale II. Plaque. It's not too legible, sorry. Okay. This one here I would have had no way to get to when I was a kid. We didn't even see this side. This is where I think I ran into bats before. So I'd be careful, there's some bats. This probably would have been living quarters, in all probability, for the men, okay? All right. Whew. Extremely hot out today, people. There's one. Hard to see in that one, just a window. There's a back door to that other one. Some of it's getting reclaimed here. See, they haven't excavated all. This is the back door to that other one, right there. There's another door right there. And I don't know if there's one down the other way. We're going to go find out. My enemy, bats. Whoa, stay away. All right, I'm leaving. Okay, we're getting out of here. Okay, because I basically showed you everything, including the bats, which I didn't think I'd run into bats in the daytime. I thought it was not going to be here. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this adventure. As always, I'll catch you next adventure. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'd really appreciate a thumbs up from some of you there. I mean, I'm working extra hard to try to do something. And I have something coming up that I'm going to try to put together, which is a multi-location event to tell a story. A very important story in history in Connecticut. As always, treat everybody with kindness. I recommend KM Creations for all your creative needs. I don't have one of the shirts on right now, but I think I can get one from a prior video to show you some of their stuff. And it may include Joe that way. Okay? All right, catch you next week.